Shimano. Shimano. Shinanamoe? Shinane. Lots of different ways to say Shimano. We used to have this guy, Phil, that would come in, who would basically, every time he came in, he pronounced Shimano differently. And so we had a piece of paper, and we would actually keep a tally and write down all the creative ways that he would pronounce Shimano. Another favorite was Integra instead of Ultegra. Nice kid, a little bit loopy. So, Shinanamoe stuck. It's the shop term for Shimano components. Tonight's knife is a Strider SNG. It's got concealed carry handle, so it's rounded and thinned. Super not useful Tonto tip. Incredibly thick blade stock. You literally can't stab this into a piece of wood and have it stick because the tip is too blunt. Still, very nice little everyday carry knife. I really like Striders. They get shit on a lot on the sort of online knife community. You know, there's all this question of stolen valor with the owner, which I care about stolen valor, but, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I feel like aesthetically, there has basically never been a knife as cool as any of the things Strider has made. They are durable enough. When you get them on the secondhand market, they are cheap enough. I mean, they're like $450 or whatever, but still, they're quite nice. And the fit is just, it's just phenomenal. One thing that I don't like is this forward finger choil you have here. You lose like fucking, like a ½ inch of blade. Like you lose like a significant portion of like your ability to cut. So there's that. However, stride or die, bitch. Tight. I'm talking knockoffs. Ooh, yeah. That's not just something that we've had to deal with since the rise of industrial China. We've been dealing with knockoffs from various parts in the world for pretty much since the dawn of time. I mean, all the way back to and including like adulterated food and like fake sawdust and shit. Like, people are always trying to make a buck, especially if some product is known for being particularly good or reliable. They will always capitalize on that name, trying to confuse the customers, trying to pollute the marketplace. So what do we have here? These are beautiful arabesque Shimano 600 down tube shifters. Ooh, look at that. Now these aren't complete. These are the only ones I could find. I'll probably make a keychain out of these guys, or just complete them. But this is the real deal. Yeah? What do we have here? Boom! Shimano 800. Yo, you got that Shimano 800? Yeah, kid. No, I got a Flagino 900. It's 100 better than what you got. This is an interesting one that almost slipped past us. We were like, oh yeah, you got some arabesque 600s there, and then someone was like, oh, there it says 800, and then upon closer scrutiny, my man's got a Shimano. I just think shit like this is hilarious. There was this company that came recently. I don't know how we got them, but it was clearly a direct from China sort of brand, and what they had was they were supposed to be called sunPeed, but instead it was like this fucked up English, and it said sunPeed. Like literally on the stems and seat posts, their logo is just sunPeed repeatedly. Also, the warnings were all full of typos, hilarious typos. Like on the seat post, it didn't say minimum insertion, it said minimum insertion. They just added a peppering of B's to it. So, you know, the world of the knockoff. You ever go to Chinatown? Or like, I guess in Seattle, they call it the International District. Motherfucker, it's Chinatown. And just like, especially ones on the East Coast or like in bigger cities, and just marvel at the like, you know, bootleg Scoochie bags and Versoki. Like, I mean, what was that? What's the one that looks like Sony? Kobe? Get yourself a Kobe boombox. I have to say that I have a real soft spot in my heart for knockoffs. You know, if the quality, like, I'll put it to you this way. The only knockoffs I tend to actually wear are Asian knockoff name brand clothing that's all put together all fucked up, because like it doesn't take much for a piece of clothing to function as good as another piece of clothing. It takes, you know, with this, who knows what the quality is. If you've got knockoff derailleurs or, God forbid, knockoff wheels, that's not the best situation to put yourself in, you know? You don't want no Shimano stem, if you know what I'm saying. But like, I recently got this t-shirt, and it's Fido Dido. Do you remember he was like a cartoon, then he was like the mascot for Sprite, the soda? It's like a gangster, like totally misspelled English, like the words on the t-shirt end in the middle of the sentence. Fido Dido as like a fucking thug t-shirt. You literally cannot get better than when Asian people appropriate Western culture. It is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, say it how you want. Shinanamoe, Shimano, or even Shimano. Yellow Sheldon is a fan of knockoff shit. It is really, I mean, just look at her. Ain't she gorgeous?